This is our third way of reasoning that we're going to be talking about in Chapter 2. Remember, in Section 2.1, we talked about visual reasoning. In Section 2.2, we talked about inductive reasoning. And now in Section 2.4, we're going to talk about deductive reasoning. And I have pictures of Sherlock Holmes and the thinker on here as symbols of what deductive reasoning is going to be like. So deductive reasoning is a process of showing that certain statements follow logically from agreed upon assumptions and proven facts. A great example is solving an algebra equation. This is pure deductive reasoning. So every step that we have is given a reason for what we're doing to arrive at an answer. So here is the original equation, and then we use the distributive property to go from 2 times 2x plus 1 to 4x plus 2. And then we're going to combine like terms. So I combine up the x's, so I get 10 x's. And then I combine up 3, 4, 5 plus 7, that would be 12. So that's just the reason combining like terms. And then I subtract 12 from both sides. And when I do that, I have 10x left here and a 30 minus 5x on the other side. Then I add 5x to each side in order to get all the letters on one side. I get 15x is equal to 30. And then to get x alone, I divide both sides by 15. And that gives me an answer of x is equal to 2. So this is deductive reasoning. Each step that I have is given a reason as to how I'm going to the next step to end up at the solution. So these are all proven facts that I know that I'm giving as reasons for each step. Okay, now I'm going to take a problem and I'm going to solve it inductively from section 2.2 and then deductively from this section 2.4. So it says in each diagram, ray AC bisects obtuse angle BAD. So BAD is obtuse, greater than 90, greater than 90, greater than 90. So each of these angles, BAD, 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 they're all obtuse. Okay, then there's this ray AC that bisects it. So in each case, AC is coming as a ray and bisecting that angle BAD. Then it says classify angle BAD, DAC, and CAB as acute right or obtuse. Well, angle BAD is obtuse. Angle DAC, if I'm cutting it in half, this would be 1660, so that would be acute. And angle CAB would be acute. Now let's see if that happens again. Here's an obtuse angle. If I split it in half, that's going to give me 79 and 79. And each of those would also be acute angles. If I take 92 and split it in half, that would be 46 and 46, and those are also acute. So the conjecture says, if an obtuse angle is bisected, then the two newly formed congruent angles are going to be acute. So that's what the conjecture is down here. So I got that just by looking at examples. I saw a pattern. If I had an obtuse angle that is bisected, I got acute angles. I saw acute angles. I saw acute angles. And so by saying that there's a pattern of acute angles each time that an obtuse angle is bisected, I came to the conjecture that says if an obtuse angle is bisected, then the two newly formed congruent angles are acute. Now I'm going to take the same problem and I'm going to solve it deductively. So this one says, by our definition of an angle, measure is less than 180 degrees in geometry. So we said that in the beginning, one of the first lessons. The measure of an angle in geometry is less than 180 degrees. When I bisect it, that means I take half of it. I'm going to take half of the measure of that angle and half of the measure of that angle. So that's what I do here. So I am multiplying both sides by a half. So that is a a geometric reason, an algebraic reason, then I can do that. When I do that, half of 180 turns out to be 90, and that is just by multiplication. And so therefore I know that when I take an angle and bisect it, it's going to be less than 90 degrees, so it's going to be acute. So here is the deductive way of solving the same problem that I did inductively on the last step. Okay, now you are going to do a group investigation on page 121, steps 1 through 4, and you're going to solve the problem inductively. So they're going to give you two pictures. Here's a picture and here's a picture, and in each of those pictures, AB equals CD. AB equals CD. And then we're going to add the same thing to both of those sections. So we're going to find out AB plus 75, and then you're going to take CD plus 75. I'm kind of stalling here because my pen is not working, so I'm trying to fix my pen as I am stalling, and now I think it'll work. So I take AB and I add 75 to it. I take CD and add 75 to it, and they want you to find out what is then true about this segment AC and this segment BD. Okay, so you're going to do that just by looking at two examples and seeing what the pattern is, and then coming up with a conjecture. And then you're going to do the same thing again, except you're going to do it deductively. So you're going to look at the picture that I have, that first picture, and you're going to say AB equals what? And then AB gets what added to it, and CD gets what added to it. And therefore, AC is going to equal what? So this is a setup that you're going to fill in. Each time that you do it, you're also going to put reasons for each step. So you can stop for a while with this video and try to do that investigation. When you are done, you can come back and I will have the answers here. So it says here, the next two slides are the solutions to the two investigation activities. And so this says, when I added the same thing to AC and, let me go back to the picture here. When I added the same thing to AB and to CD, I got two segments, AC, which was 100, and BD, which was 100. And what you then found out then is that AC equals BD. So if AD has points A, B, C, and D, so this is the conjecture here, in order, with AB equaling CD, then the overlapping segments AC and BD are congruent because you're adding the same thing to each of the original pieces. So here is AB, here was CD, they are equal to each other. So if I add the same thing onto AB and the same thing onto CD, then these two segments are also going to be equal. And then here is the solution done deductively. I said AB equals CD was given to me, and then I added the same thing to each side, which is an okay thing to do in an equation. And then I just said when you add these two together, you get AC. When you add these two segments together, you get segment BD. And the reason I could do that is because of addition. So I have solved both of those methods. I did the inductive way of coming up with that conjecture and the deductive way of proving that conjecture.